Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here, bringing you the next game of our Unbroken Bonds content. To the left, you got me. Hello, Orbomb. Nice to meet you. And to the right, you have my buddy Kate. As always, will be helping me play test these games. We have some games with other people coming as well, but today we're playing a game that a lot of you guys were like overwhelmingly wanting to see in the comments, and that is Greninja and Zoroark Tag Team GX. This deck, that's what Kate is playing right now. It's a little bit more ambitious than this list. I decided because I couldn't decide between playing it with Naganadel versus Incineroar, I decided to why not play both. So this deck is actually going to be using the GX attack to pull out Incineroar while also setting up Naga as a backup attacker and energy accelerator. While to the right, or to the left, I guess, which is me, to the right is Kate playing Greninja Zoroark, and to the left is me. I'm actually going to be playing Muck tag team. Muck with Alolan Muck GX tag team with just a Malamar guillotine engine kind of thing, using some fun stuff, DCEs, things like that. So this is actually, I was actually pretty interested in this list. Any Malamar list that I can abuse cards like Acerola with are going to be interesting to me. So as we can see here, Kate is starting off her turn pretty strongly, getting 2 Poipos down as well as a Greninja Zoroark. No Incineroar in the discard pile yet from what I can see, but a pretty good start nonetheless. Before we get into the video, since we're already in the video, why don't you consider hitting that like button? That like button loves you and wants love in return. I'm going to start my turn here. And then don't forget to like the video if you have not already. Playing a switch here to get my Jirachi active because we're playing a nice Jirachi engine. But yeah. Get that switched. What was I thinking? Hit that like button, subscribe if you guys like the Unbroken content. Like always, tomorrow's video will be a deck list of whichever list did not win the best of 3, and the deck list after that will be the deck list that did win. So we'll see which one's coming up next. But keep in mind that just because the deck list did not win doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that one deck is better than the other. It's just, you know, it is what it is, right? I built all these lists, so you know what I'm saying. I build pretty good lists. Joking aside, we're just kind of getting the run of the mill, but I'm gonna go ahead and get out my Alolan Muck tag team. So while I'm stalling for time, I'm gonna talk about the Alolan Muck GX. Now it is weak to Psychic, which is a little bit unfortunate for other Malamar lists that are out there, but its attacks are really interesting. And like the whole point that I found while playing this deck is setting up that turn 1 GX attack with I mean technically turn 2. You can use a turn 1, but let me see if I can pull up the card so I don't mess up anything. All right, cool. So it's 270 HP, which is as tanky as it gets besides Wailord. It's got 3 attacks, bad poison for Psychic DCE. They're poison, and you put 8 damage counters in them between turns, which is a pretty good amount of damage counters. That means you're doing 160 if they're stuck active. It's not as efficient. I'm not a huge fan of poison decks, as you guys know, but as far as like the poison damage goes, it does pretty well. We're playing the new stadium, which you see up there, Dust Island. If your opponent retreats due to an effect of an item card, that the new Pokemon is still poison, so they can't Guzma, or I mean, it's effective with trainer card. So if they Guzma, the Pokemon they pull up is poison. If they use the card switch, the Pokemon they pull up is poison. Other cards that I'm playing in this deck are cards like Absol for decks that abuse that free retreat or 1 retreat cost, just to take advantage, keep Pokemon stuck in the active, things like that. Poison Lick does 120. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poison, heal 100 damage from this Pokemon. So I want to say that I don't like this attack at all. I talk about more in the deck profile, but it really feels counterintuitive. If you're already going to be taking a knockout, most likely with bad poison, Poison Lick doing as much damage as it doesn't mean much. If the healing doesn't mean much because you're already like, usually you don't care, is what I'm trying to say. Your opponent's Pokemon is usually going to be knocked out. But the main reason why I like this Muck is the GX attack here. It's a free GX attack. If your opponent's it's now poison and paralyzed, so free GX attack which poison and paralyzes, not too bad at all. But it's if you have 4 extra energy, any energy at all, attached to this Pokemon, you can do 15 damage counters instead of 1 between turns. So you're paralyzing them. Usually you try to get them whenever they're at a low hand size. You do it really early too, where they're trying to set up, so they can't just Guzma. A lot of the time decks need a couple turns before they have like a pretty dominant board state, so they can't just Guzma. They have to be setting up and stuff. So if you have a Dust Island down early combined with that GX attack, you have a really powerful board state. I'm going to go ahead and set up my Tina back there. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit this man with the bad poison for knockout. because it does 8 damage cards between turn. But yeah, being able to poison paralyze is pretty strong, especially if you can get it early game. And that's just 2 Malamars and a DCE most of the time. This deck is turbo enough to pull off that strategy too, so I do like it a lot. Now Greninja and Zoroark. Let's see if I can pull up that card real quick. Just to make sure I'm not mistreating anything, is pretty powerful in its own right. Greninja Zoroark has 250 HP, so it's okay. It's okay HP, more than Pikarom, less than Muck, but it's got 1 attack. Besides its GX attack, Dark Pulse, 30 damage plus 30 more damage for dark energy attached to your board. So the whole point is to get as many dark energies as you can on your board and just take knockout after knockout after knockout. Once again, you can play cards like Acerola because you are a 250 HP Pokemon. Pretty good. Definitely pretty good. You can play like you do with Blacephalon, but unlike Blacephalon, you don't have to get rid of your energies, which is pretty strong. And we have the new Incineroar, and by new I mean came out in the last set. Incineroar being able to put 3 damage counters on itself and attach 3 energies from the deck to itself. So you can put 3 more energies on the board with Incineroar's ability, and that's where Greninja's GX attack comes into play. You can put its GX attack is not Unison GX for 2 dark colors. Put 2 in any combination of dark, GX, or EX Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. So you can put Incineroars directly onto your bench. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, you may attach 2 energy cards from your discard pile to each of those Pokemon. So if you're using this attack early enough, that effect doesn't really come into play. But if you really want to use a late game and you can guarantee a survival, it's not bad. It gets you 4 extra energies on the board. We also play Darkrai GX in this build too, which lets you attach it from the discard pile to the bench as well as the dark energy. So she's going to attack with Naganadel here because it does hit for weakness, does hit 2 KO damage, so definitely not bad. I'm in this awkward position where if I want to just like Acerola or like switch or stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and use a switch and use Viridian Force as well to give me more psychic energies. Helps me a lot that they're playing Viridian Force in this matchup, not going to lie. I'm not playing Viridian Force because I think Dust Silence pretty good. Once again, I'm just testing out some new ideas. I will say personally that even though I think this deck is better than I gave it credit for, I'm not a huge fan of playing poison decks. I am playing that Mr. Mime, as you can see there. Mr. Mime is to prevent your opponent's Acerolas, which your opponent will want to do. Just another way to get them out of poison damage is having that Acerola live. But we're going to go ahead and set up Greninja here. Ideally, they won't Guzma up the Muck. And if we can knock out this Naga, that's 3 less energies on the board. So my opponent does not have another Naganadel, which is definitely not bad at all. Another Dust Island. So I don't think there was too much of a reason to play that down, but I guess it does technically get their forest out of there, which is pretty good. So we are going to go ahead and take a knockout. We are weak to dark, so I expect us to get knocked out, but what I'm more worried about is a Guzma play. Excuse me, guys. Alright, enough of that. So let's see what my opponent's going to do here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else relevant in this deck. You could always play cards like Nanu and stuff. I don't really think it's super necessary. But yeah, I think Greninja Zoroark's pretty good. It doesn't get as many results in Japan. I kind of feel like it's not the most powerful deck right now. If you play it with straight Incineroar, it's interesting because you can play that new Fire Incineroar, the one that increases all your damage output by 30. But you can only like use 1 at a time. So that's pretty cool. You have access to that. You have access to Incineroar GX, which accelerates energy. And it does accelerate a lot of energy, as well as gives you another GX attacker that can get rid of things like special energies off of Zoroark with its attack, and has a pretty okay GX attack that does 50 damage for each damage counter on itself. Since you do damage yourself to accelerate energies, it's not bad. But you have to keep in mind that you're setting up a stage 2 and it's a GX Pokemon, so your engine is a GX. So that's never great to have an engine that is a GX, especially when you're playing tag teams as well. So let's see what we can do here. I might just do the GX attack on this dude after a Marshadow play. I have the Marshadow in hand, and it's definitely a play I can make. I just have to decide if it's the play I want to, if it's a play worth making right now. I'm gonna go ahead and play that Nest Ball. So okay, so I no longer have bench space for the Marshadow. So I know I drew the Marshadow. Maybe I shouldn't have played down that Muck on the bench. I know I want to set it up so I have another Muck to set up into, but what I could have done was attach an energy to Muck, switch my Jirachi into the Muck that's damage, GX attack to pretty much guarantee a knockout, and getting a phone call, and put down the Mr. Mime, put down the Marshadow, prevent them from really, prevent their chances of getting Guzma by a little bit, and then just GX. So if my opponent has a Guzma here, they don't have much going for them as far as, damage goes. Also, yeah, I definitely misplayed this turn. I should have attacked with the damaged muck, because if they do Guzma, then I would like I would like to be able to yeah, that's I definitely misplayed here for sure. Yeah, I definitely misplayed here. This is gonna be immediately after the hours of playing the Buzzwole versus Persian decks, so that's probably why I'm all messy, but definitely misplayed. Should not have done that. Oh well, it's fine though. Yeah, if I attack with a damaged one, she wouldn't be able to Guzma. I definitely should have Marshadow too. Oh well, you live and learn. I'm gonna go, so the GX attack, because of Dust Island, she still takes a poison damage, so she's still gonna be knocked out here. I can just switch into Jirachi and then switch into any other Pokemon I'd like, if I want to. But I'm still taking my three prizes, because Dust Island stayed into play. She had to keep the poison damage anyways, and she can only knock me out with a tag team. So even though I lost Muck in the process, because I'm ahead in the prize exchange, it doesn't matter too much. Which is pretty good, because as long as I can set up another Giratina, she doesn't look like she'll be able to Oko me anytime soon. She never did use her GX attack to set up Incineroar, which is, you know, fine. We have Acerola here, so in case she does attack me, I can just Acerola and finish the game off. She has so many targets there for Muck to finish off, as well as like a bunch of targets that can be finished off with Giratina as well. That doesn't really matter too much. I'm supposed to damage myself, but it doesn't come into play. Don't worry about it. I talked about how like I had 4 damage on myself, but I just never put down the dice for whatever reason. The die, it's fine though. Let's see. She is at 2 prizes, so she can no longer use Turning Point. She can attach with her ability. What is she gonna do here? She can't attack me with her damaged child. Ooh, one card that is really interesting, that I think is really interesting in this deck, if you're gonna be playing this deck without using the GX attack on Greninja. And I just attack for game, because she had nothing to do to stop me from attacking her for game. So game 1 is done. And by the way, I remember this. I had to make some weird camera adjustments. So all 3 of these camera angles are going to be different. So yeah, keep that in mind. Game 3 is going to look really weird, but it's fine. Not a big deal. But she had no way to win that game. So obviously I just attack with my dude, my Alolan Muck for game in every scenario. So easy enough there. And I forgot what I was talking about. Completely forgot what I was talking about. But my opponent's going to go first here. Oh yeah, so Darkrai. There's a new supporter called Koga, which poisons and confuses your opponent, I believe. Just regular poison, regular confusion. But the point is, it's a supporter that can put a status condition on your opponent. So if you combine that with Darkrai GX, who gives you an instant knockout if you can set up his GX attack, it's actually pretty strong. So that's something to keep in mind too. Obviously in this deck list, I'm using Greninja Zoroark's GX attack. So, but for like future decks, I don't think I'd play this with Incineroar. I don't think I like Incineroar too much. I'd rather just try to set up a bunch of Naganadels and Darkrai's and accelerate energies that way. Darkrai is actually, like, if you can put like 2 or 3 Darkrai's in this deck, you have access to a lot of energies. Combine with Viridian Forest and put them in the discard pile. I actually really like this deck for that reason. The Incineroar idea is really nice, especially since you can combine it with the other Incineroar, but there's just not as much consistency for stage 2 decks, which is just unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like, we have Bills, but you don't want to be playing Bills in this deck. I'm going to go ahead and use Nest Ball to grab a Jirachi, and I'm going to use Treasure to grab something. Yeah, I toss a Giratina here to grab another Inkay. Boom. Sorry if you guys can hear any background noise. I was hoping my family would be asleep by now, but they are not. Attach an energy to retreat into Jirachi and use the ability. See if we get anything good. We get a Lily, so that's pretty nice. Always love me some Jirachi. Speaking of which, I have a bunch of cards for sale right now. I hope people are responding. Looks like some people are. That's good. Although I'm waiting for one dude. One dude said he wanted to buy internationally, so he said he'll pay for the shipping, which is sick. But that aside, that's my life right now. Oh, I just went to the dentist. Just have some life updates, guys. It is the 2nd when I'm recording this, so I hope you guys enjoyed your April Fool's Day. I went to the dentist, and I went to a bunch of dentists. You guys know I'm having this wisdom teeth issue impacted. Nerves are out, and it is causing me so much pain. I went to a bunch of dentists for the past 2 or 3 weeks, and they've been charging me $600 to remove my tooth. And I don't have insurance right now because I just turned 26. I don't have like a real job right now that can give me like decent insurance. So I was not able to take care of it as quickly as I would like because everything was costing too much money. But now I went to my regular dentist to finish my fillings that I paid for like a couple weeks ago when I did have insurance, because I just had to get this stuff done. And they were looking at it and they're just like, oh yeah, we'll only charge you like $300 for it. So the big, like really pretty, really expensive dentist that I went to is charging me half the price as all the other dentists are. So unfortunately, even though I don't have the money right now, I did just recently get a credit card. Not recently, but I recently have credit now on my credit card. I'm gonna use Marsh out of here. I'm not even commenting the game because like nothing interesting is happening in the game so far. I was just going through the motions. But but I just got that, so I'm gonna have to go with my credit, which will get me deeper in debt because I'm already in debt from like the previous dental visits. I'm like, what just happened there? That was weird. I'm like $800 in debt, so now I'm gonna be like $1,100, but it's worth it because right now, this commentary I'm doing right now, it hurts to speak a lot. But I want to get this commentary done because if I am going to get these wisdom teeth removed, I'm not going to be able to speak for like a week. So I have to make sure all this stuff is done so I can continue getting the month-long uploads for you guys. So, yep. Did I draw it? Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Another Jirachi down. So we're just setting up right now, going through the motions. And all right, cool. So I'm just trying to think if anything's happened. We do have a pretty dominant board state though. Jirachi, potentially 3 Malamars, Marshadow, and a Muck. The only thing that sucks is that we don't have any space for what's it called? Mr. Mime. Because Mr. Mime being able to stop ace rolls is always really nice. Especially in this tag team heavy format where everyone's playing ace roll. As you can see, she did this discard an Incineroar, so she might just use her GX attack now while she has the time to, which would be pretty strong. Get that Incineroar down, which will set her up for a lot of the game. She's gonna Lily here. Let's see, there's another Pokemon, another tag team, which is good. And yeah, she's not gonna take a knockout. She's gonna, oh wait a minute, is she gonna take a knockout? Okay, she's gonna take a knockout. That would have been a pretty good time to use her GX attack just to get Incineroar down. I kind of feel like she should have done that because knocking out the Inkay doesn't really do too much for her at all, really. I guess she is just 2 knockouts away from winning if she does knock out the Muck, but she doesn't have enough energies to knock out the Muck right now. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energies, which is just 150, 180 damage right now. She needs like another 100 damage to take a knockout. She's playing Choice Band, but I think she's only playing 1. I think she's only playing 1. I'm not too sure. So it's not like she's gonna have an easy time taking a knockout here. She would need to get 2 more Naganadel attachments and 1 Mal attachment. It's only 3 more energies, so that's still short. Unless she also has Choice Band, I don't think she's taking a knockout. But she might be, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 16, 24. No, it's knockout, right? 2 Nagas plus 1 Manual attachment, 3 more energies. And she has, oh, she actually has 2 energies on Naganadel back there. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She has 6 energies on board right now. Plus 3 is 9, 9, 18, 27. Oh yeah, that would definitely be knockout. Even if she gets 2 more, 8, 16, 24, with a Choice Band, she can get a knockout. So she still has the ability to do so. But I am going to GX her here. No Dust Island down, which means that if she does get out of this, it just sucks for me. But she's gonna energy switch. Does she have a Guzma? She does have a Guzma, so it looks like this boy is staying safe on the bench. I don't know why the camera is jumping. I do apologize about that. It's probably because I'm speeding it up so much. But yeah, there's random jumping frames. I do apologize. We'll see what happens though. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of an issue. She's going to take a knockout. So all she has to do is keep some energies on the board and win by knocking out the Muck. So she's actually loading up a lot of damage a lot quicker than I thought she was. And this is what I mean, like without playing the Incineroar, like without focusing on getting out the Incineroar, she was able to rack up so many energies on the board. So you don't actually need that many energies to hit huge numbers. 10 energies means you hit for 330 damage, 33 damage counters, whatever you want to call it. Quite a bit. 8 energies means you're hitting for 24. No, you 27 because you have that 30 plus. So if she has 8, she could take a knockout without Choice Band. 7 means you take a knockout with Choice Band, and that's not even that many energies. So I definitely think if I were to rebuild this list, I play it the Naganadel way. But here she's just going to attack. I'm going to attack her, and I believe she has Guzma for game here. Energy attachment, Lele, and Lele gets her Guzma for game. So there we go. That is game 2. We're going to move on to game 3. Yeah, there's definitely some weird angling here. It's because the camera was recording it vertical instead of horizontal. So I had to like adjust it, but then the angle. I had to cut something. It was weird. It's just gross. But that aside, as you can see, when Greninja snowballs, which it doesn't take much, as you can see, she didn't even really play that much. Some Nest Balls, some Treasures, some Ultra Balls, some Viridian Forest to get energies in discard pile. Not much at all to get started. Very similar to Blacephalon, but energies stay on the board, and you have higher HP, which is both a benefit and a curse because you're still a tag team, right? And you can be OHKO'd by some cards, but if you're not OHKO'd, you're doing a pretty good job hitting a really high number, and you can abuse Ace Roll and stuff. It's a 2 energy attachment, so like you're not stoked about using Ace Roll every time, but with energy switches, as you see that I was playing there, you don't really mind Ace Roll too much. I could definitely see this list playing like 4 Treasures, like 2 or 3 Forests, maybe like 4 energy switch and 3 Acerola, something like that. But we have a pretty strong start here. 2 Nest Balls. I do love me Nest Balls and Malamar. I was like 4 Ultra Balls, 4 Treasures, 2 or 3 Nest Balls is what I've been rocking with lately, and I've been loving the consistency of the deck. Getting down Muck early, probably because I have a DCE in hand. That'd be my guess. No, I don't. I just want to attach for sure because apparently my hand's pretty dead. So never mind. Usually I only do that if I have DC in hand, but if I'm going first, I have time. As long as I can get down 1 more EK and find a DCE, which I did, which is pretty good. And we have 1 more EK, so that's pretty good too. And we still have access to Jirachi as well. So we have to find a Skateboard and 1 Malamar next turn. We have the DC in hand right now. And as long as we don't get Marshallowed, we should have a turn 2 GX attack before my opponent has too many cards gone. So that's pretty good here. We're going to go ahead and use Jirachi, which gets us probably just Cynthia. Actually, there's a Treasure. Oh, I guess I'm not grabbing the Treasure, though. Probably just going to play Draw Spore next turn because my hand is full of good cards from what I could tell. Let's see what else happens. Okay, my opponent's got a pretty okay start. Ultra Ball, getting down a couple of Poipoles, getting rid of an Acerola, which I think she knows at this point she doesn't want to play because I do have Mr. Mime and I am using Mr. Mime against her. There's Acrobikes. I remember this deck does play Acrobikes, yeah. Getting a Dark Energy and discard pile and just a turn 1 Lily for 7. That's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. Let's see what we got here. Acrobike again. Wish I could see her hand, but whatever. Angles are bad. It is what it is. Oh, and that's it. That sucks. When you draw Lily for 7, you don't get much at all. I mean, she had a pretty good turn 1. She get 2 Poipoles down and have an energy attachment to her active, so there's not too much to complain about here. With a Lily to 7, though, I don't know if I'm super comfortable using the GX attack, but I still think I will use it because I did find the Dust Island anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, I think I will use it as long as I can just find 1 Malamar off of this Cynthia. I did not use too many Treasures. I did use some Ultra Balls, but not too many Treasures, so the chance of me finding a Malamar still exists. There is a 4/4 line in here for a reason, so I could draw into it as you just saw, and we also found 2 Ultra Balls as well. So we can get another one if we like to, if we need to, but we don't really need to right now. I think for now we'll just hold on to everything because we have a bunch of DCs in hand. Let's go ahead and get that GX attack off early because that's what I love about this deck is you being able to use that GX attack early. Gonna lose a Guzma and another Ultra Ball just to find the last Malamar, I suppose. Maybe, oh, Marshadow, probably because I have a dead hand. So being able to, actually, that's pretty good for me because, like I said earlier, if I can Marshadow them out of a big hand and stop them from getting a Guzma, I can guarantee a knockout on a tag team using this Poison Paralysis combination. So I actually really like this. We draw 4 cards. We still have access to Jirachi, another Malamar too. We can attach an energy with discard pile if we want to, but we don't need to. So we'll go ahead and just Poison and Paralyze, and let's see if we can pull off a combo here. There's another Greninja Zoroark. She could energy switch just to get rid of the energies off of the active so she doesn't lose it, and that's what she's gonna do. I kind of remember this game, even though I recorded this game like years ago. She's gonna play Dedenne to like get a new hand. Maybe find a Guzma off this. That wouldn't be too bad at all. Viridian Forest. Now if she Guzmas, she's pretty safe, which is actually pretty cool. Manual attachment. So does she have find the Guzma? That'd be crazy if she did. Well, there's a Marshadow, so she still has a chance to find the Guzma. She's drawing off 4 here. If she can find a Guzma, she can probably, yeah, she can knock out a Jirachi, getting rid of my engine a little bit, which is actually pretty good. She can get rid of a Malamar as well. I think. Excuse me. If she does get rid of the Malamar, that's not bad either. Having only 1 Malamar would be a detriment, but it doesn't look like she found it. Looks like after all those drawings, she did not actually find it. She can't even get Lele here, which kind of sucks. But she's managed to get down 2 Naga, so she can continue to accelerate. And Cynthia, so at least she has a really strong board position here, which is definitely not bad at all. Even though I'm gonna lose this, even though she's going to lose this tag team in the active, she's at least not taking any crazy damage. Like, she's not gonna be blown away right here. I don't really know where those damage counters came from. Oh, I think oh yeah, it's the poison damage, never mind. The thing is, she just has to choose. The only thing that sucks here is that she has to choose a new active before her turn starts. So I guess Marshadow it is. All right, so I get another knockout. So I do get 4 prizes off of this, which is really strong for us, for me, for sure. But she never showed off getting out Incineroar, which I'm pretty sure we recorded a game where she did. I guess it just wasn't a good game, so I didn't pick it. But she can GX for Incineroar out. And Incineroar does get rid of DCEs off of my Muck, which is pretty strong as well. I'm going to go ahead and treasure here to get probably another Muck just to start setting that boy up. I could also get a Mr. Mime, but then I wouldn't have any backup attackers. I grab nothing, so maybe it's prized. I could also have Giratina and Discard Pile I could try setting up as well. That wouldn't be bad. Let's see what I do here. I guess I'm just setting up Giratina in the back. And manual attachments. Giratina is ready to take some knockouts. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just knock out this thing in the active with my Poison Lick. Doesn't heal me because my opponent's not poisoned. So once again, I don't think that attack works very well. I'm going to be 100% honest. Ultra Ball here gets her 2 more energies on the board, which is crazy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60, 120, 180, 210. She's already hitting for 210. She hasn't manually attached yet either. So that's 7. If she finds a choice band, she takes a knockout, right? 21. Yeah, all she needs to do is find a choice band and she takes a knockout, which is just absolutely insane to me. As long as she has to find a choice band and manual attachment, she guarantees one because of her stadium. But it looks like she doesn't find it, so she's gonna go ahead and just damage me. I would like to try to play Acerola here. We'll have to see what happens. I'm only gonna be able to hit her for 120 or 80 poison damage. We'll have to see. But I'm not gonna be able to hit her for much, is what I'm trying to say. Just quickly looking through my deck, trying to see if I have the Acerola in the deck. Oh, you know what she could have done as well? She could have actually reached for a knockout there if she put Darkrai in the discard pile. So she had Darkrai in the discard pile. She'd get another energy and a manual attachment. That would have been 8. Yeah, that would have been knockout. So this deck is still this deck, this Dark Pulse deck is still pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. I only have to take 2 more prizes so I can just knock out the Dene for game. The problem is I don't have a way to knock out the Dene for game because I don't play choice bands anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and Guzma up and Naga, get rid of 2 energies, so that's less energies on the board. Unfortunate for sure. But she is not in turning point yet. But she can Guzma here for knockout. Take 3 prizes of her own. But yeah, I hope because I know a lot of people were really excited about seeing this deck with Incineroar. So I hope I made it pretty clear that I think this deck is just inherently faster when you have access to cards like Mysterious Treasure, as well as all the other ball search, the standard ball search cards we have right now. But I'm just going to Guzma for game from the looks of it. Excuse me. With all the standard ball search cards we have right now, combined with Mysterious Treasure, and Viridian Forest, I think it's just so much better to play this list with Naganadel than it is to play with Incineroar. I think Incineroar is cool, and if you absolutely need to, or you want to have those high roll turns, you could play, my deck played 2 Incineroar GX just to throw them in the discard pile to use the GX attack. I honestly, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm liking cards like Energy Switch, and maybe I just play Koga instead of the Incineroar. an extra Darkrai. Instead of those 2 Incineroar, I replace it with 1 more Darkrai GX and 1 Koga, and that way whenever I have those turns where I can just use Koga GX attack for a knockout, because I can knock out, because if the attack knocks out anything with a status condition, this includes tag teams, you can take 3 prizes off of a Darkrai's GX attack, which is always pretty insane, because you only need like 1 manual attachment and 1 energy switch most of the time if you think about it, because of the ability attaches 1 energy already, 1 manual attachment, which means you're only 1 energy short, so all you gotta do is find energy switch Koga, so that's pretty good. But yeah, that's gonna be the video, guys. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Appreciate all you guys for watching, and that's gonna be it. Leave your comments down below, answer the comment question today for a chance to win a couple ghost shoutouts as always. So my sponsors, Guardian Gaming, and don't forget to check out the Patreon if you want to support me. I did talk about my debt, so I guess that's one thing it'll be going towards instead of me working so much that I won't be able to record. Oh boy, that's gonna be stressful. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with some deck list. Peace.